So in this section, I'm going to talk about the utility AOVs from Unreal, the issues you may encounter, and how you can fix that. So first thing, let's take a look at what kind of utility AOVs we can expect. So here you can see I have my beauty. Here you can see that I'm having my position. And with this position node, I can get a position to point, creating a masks, and having a point cloud that I can see in Nuke. We can also expect to have the normal pass, so we can have some relights, and of course the depth pass. One of the issues that you have with utility AOVs from Unreal is that they are not including the depth of field, as the depth of field is being applied during a post-process effect in the render and not applying to the AOV. So that's why you can see that my beauty here is having a shallow depth of field, while my utility AOV, such as the normal, is crystal clear and sharp. So how you can bypass that? Well, if you render the depth pass, you can actually having a depth effect on top of your AOV. So you're basically going to shuffle your depth, and then you can use something like ZD Focus or bokeh or something else just to get this depth of field effect over the AOV itself. So this is one thing to take into consideration. So again, my beauty will have this depth of field included, but my AOVs will not have it. So here, under the deferred renderer, if you remember, we use these tokens, renderer subname. We're going to enable this additional post-process material, and we're going to make sure that this one is enabled. And by default, you can see that the first material here is going to render the depth. So let's give it a test, and let's see how it looks. Let's skip that, and let's render. So here you have a new version, and you can see that we suddenly have this movie render queue underscore world depth, and inside of it, we have this strange name with our, wall depth and everything. So how we can actually avoid that, and how we can rename our depth passes or like AOVs. If you'll click here under the deferred renderer, you can see that you can specify the name here. So technically I can type something like that, but I want to keep things non-destructive. So I don't really want to manually select the name. I want it to be taken from the material naming. So if we want to actually rename our passes, we should actually modify them. And if you will click here under the folder icon, you don't want to actually modify the source engine material, so we will copy them to different directory. And inside of this AOV demo, I can copy the AOVs that I want to render. So I will select these three for now, but you get the idea. So I'll take that and we'll click copy. And let's start to change things. So instead of calling it depth, I will call it Z for now. And for the world position, I will call it P. And for the normal, I will call it N. So let's put them inside of our material. So for the depth one, I will use the Z. And here you can add more index and specify the material, and make sure to check the enable button. So here I'm going to have the position. And last, I'm going to select the normal. So after we specify these passes, let's give it another go and let's render. So now we have the third version, and inside this master layer, we can see that we have a beauty folder, N folder, which stands for the normal, P for the position, and Z for the depth. So let's take this and let's see how it looks in Nuke. So here you can see that we have the beauty, we have the normal, position, and depth. So by default, everything looks okay, but I can already tell you that there are some things that we need to adjust. So let's take, for example, the position, and I will create this AP at image here, position, and I will check this preview in 3D space. So, well, something looks wrong, and you can see that comparing to this one, which looks correct, we can see the character and we can see the environment. This representation is looking a little bit bigger and actually not aligned. So where it comes from? So you may think this is a bug or like an issue, but it's actually related to the fact that the up vector in Unreal is the blue channel, which is the Z-axis, and in Nuke, Maya, and so on, it's basically the green channel, the Y. So in order to flip this, we can just shuffle the blue channel with the green channel, and for the scale issue, we actually need to multiply it by 0.01. So let's see if it fixes it. So I will take this position pass, and I will click on the shuffle. And let's start by shuffling the blue channel to the green channel and the green channel to the blue channel, which is already fixing our orientation. So this now looks correct. And for fixing the scale, it's actually really simple. It's just a multiply. And as you can see, we have the exact same result with our old node here. You can see that we have the exact same settings and the exact same result. So it's overlay on top of each other. So we can assume that we need to do the same thing for the normal pass, but without the multiplication, just the axis switch. So as you can see, now it corrects. If I'm shuffling between the R, G, and B, I'm getting the correct result, which will work better with our relight tools in Nuke, for example. As for the depth pass, we don't really need to shuffle anything. I mean, we can just multiply it by 0.01. You do see that we are getting some colors, and it's actually pretty simple to just eliminate them. We want to shuffle just the red channel. So let's see how we can fix this exactly and to get the exact same result in Unreal. Let's open up the materials and let's start with the Z-depth. So for the Z-depth, it's actually pretty simple. We just need to add a multiply and enter 0.01. This will actually normalize the depth. For the other two, the position and the normals, we need to do something else. We will need to multiply that for sure, so we can keep it here. But we want to shuffle like we did in Nuke. So how do you do that? And it's actually pretty simple. Let's create a mask, component mask, and let's select the red channel, duplicate it, select the green channel, and create one for the blue channel as well. Let's connect everything here. And let's create the append. So here you can see that we actually can shuffle which node goes in which. So this way I'm shuffling the blue channel with the green channel and vice versa. Plugging it into the multiply and we should get the exact same result. So for the normal pass, I can just copy this section and plug it just here. I forgot one step and I actually want to do it. I want to make sure that I'm shuffling the R channel in the Z, so I won't have any unnecessary color. So I'm using a mask, shuffling just the red channel and plugging it straight to the multiply. So with this fix in mind, let's give it another render and let's see if it works. So the new version should be incremented, so we can just skip it with Alt arrow up. So we can see that it's working. So let's take a look here. And if I will cycle between the versions, we can see the conversion takes place. So let's get rid of these. And let's take a look at our image. And as you can see, we fixed it.